The first show this summer is The Nerd, and this is one of the most beloved comedies in the history of our theater. We have done a production every decade for the last 3 decades, and I am thrilled to be presenting this decade's incarnation. The Nerd was written by the playwright Larry Shue, who was the author of last summer's smash hit The Foreigner. And The Nerd is a comedy very much in the same mold as The Foreigner. It's very, very funny, but it's also very warm, very human, very loving, and full of characters that the audience really grows to care about and connect with. The Nerd is set in the early 1980s in Terre Haute, Indiana, and the hero is a young architect named Willem Cubbert, who is a wonderful man, generous, decent, caring, funny, very talented artist, but he lacks gumption. He doesn't really have the willpower to stand up for himself, especially in very important areas of his life. The woman he loves is moving halfway across the country to take a job, and Willem seems to lack the willpower to fight for her. He is being beaten down at work by a very unimaginative and uncaring boss, and he is not fighting for his artistic vision the way he should. So at the beginning of the play, Willem is in kind of a funk. But then he gets a phone message on his 34th birthday, the start of the show, telling him that a man named Rick Steadman is coming to visit him. And Willem is delighted because 10 years earlier, when he was a soldier in Vietnam, Rick saved Willem's life. Willem was badly wounded, he was unconscious, and Rick, who was wounded himself, picked him up, carried him 10 miles, got him medical attention, essentially saved his life. And Willem never got a chance to thank Rick personally. They never met. Willem was unconscious, and they were shipped home separately before they had a chance to become acquainted. But Willem did write Rick a letter and tell him, basically, you have a friend for life. If there's anything I can ever do for you, money, a place to stay, anything, I'm yours to command. And the two men have just been exchanging Christmas cards for the last 10 years, but now Rick is coming to visit, and Willem is over the moon. He gets to meet his savior and thank him in person. The problem is that when Rick turns up, he is a disaster. He is a socially awkward, rude, thoughtless buffoon. He is the nerd of the title, and he's not one of those intelligent, lovable nerds. He is a thoughtless, uncaring, grate on your nerves nerd. But Willem can't do anything about it because this man saved his life. And so in short order, in a series of complications that are very funny for the audience to watch, although probably not so fun for Willem to experience, Rick sets about making Willem's already precarious life 1,000 times worse through a series of hilarious social misadventures. And I certainly don't want to give anything away, but the way this play ends is, I think, one of the great endings in theater history. I remember the first time I saw the ending of this play, it was in a rehearsal in the first production we did in the 80s. I was a little kid, and I went around smiling for several hours afterwards with delight at how Larry Shue wrapped the play up. And I think that audiences who have seen this play before will enjoy revisiting it with an exciting new cast who bring these characters to magnificent life. And for audiences who have never seen this play before, I envy you, and you are in for a real theatrical treat. The Nerd, opening May 30th. We'll see you at the theater.